Aurora Dane proposed to me in front of everyone, and we set the date. On the wedding day, with all our friends and family gathered, the huge projection screen suddenly lit up with a video of her in a super short skirt, dirty dancing with Caleb Knight, her childhood friend. I was the laughingstock, but Aurora just snatched the emergency mic and said, "That video? I arranged it. Hope you all enjoyed it." Her friend Caleb Knight stepped out from the crowd, dressed in a custom-tailored suit, holding a diamond ring. He dropped to one knee. "Aurora, marry me. I don't want you to marry someone you don't love. I want you to marry for love." Aurora smiled, took the ring, and then turned to me. "Daniel Sterling, what do you have to say?" I barely hesitated. "Wishing you both a lifetime of happiness and a beautiful family." Soon, at the wedding venue, Caleb Knight was on one knee, holding the diamond ring high. "Aurora, marry me. I want you to marry for love." The entire room erupted. Most of the Sterling family and friends, along with the Dane contingent, shot to their feet, their faces aghast. And I, Daniel Sterling, the groom in this charade, was clearly the biggest fool in the room. Everyone looked at me with pity, those who were definitely smirking, enjoying the drama. Aurora, however, acted as if she didn't see any of it. She looked at me and asked, "Daniel Sterling, what do you say?" She had accepted the ring, her stunningly beautiful face beaming with a brilliant smile. It was as if she'd been waiting for Caleb to propose all along. I didn't hesitate for a second. "Wishing you both a lifetime of happiness and a beautiful family soon. And don't worry about the wedding costs. It's all on me." My words stunned the crowd, but in most people's eyes, I was just putting on a brave face, especially my family and friends. They all knew I'd chased Aurora for 7 years, from high school through college, before we finally made it. The Dane family was even more anxious. They all hoped Aurora would marry into the Sterling family, which would be a significant boost to their business. Aurora froze for a moment, her expression chilling, her eyes seeming to redden. She forced a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Daniel Sterling, you're disagreeing like that? Did you ever even love me?" "Of course I loved you. I still do. But it's precisely because I love you that I respect your choice. Since you have Caleb Knight in your heart, you two should be together. Love is about sacrifice, not possession. Aurora, I sincerely wish you both happiness." I almost made myself cry with that performance. Caleb, seeing a chance, stood up to take Aurora's hand. "Aurora, this Daniel Sterling doesn't care about you at all. He's not even trying to stop you. He doesn't love you. Marry me." Just as their hands were about to touch, Aurora suddenly stepped back. Then she hurled the diamond ring in her hand straight at Caleb's face, her expression filled with disgust. "Get lost. What right do you have to slander the man I love?" Everyone in the room was stunned. Again, they thought it was just some trashy reality TV wedding crash. But the groom wasn't fighting for her, and now the bride had flipped the script. This was getting intense. Caleb, utterly confused, said, "Aurora, what are you doing? Last night at your bachelorette party, I told you how I felt, and you didn't say no. I even said I was going to crash the wedding, and you didn't object then either. Not objecting means I agreed." Aurora's voice was ice cold. She turned, walked over to me, and took my hand, lacing her fingers through mine. "Daniel, honey, did you like the little show I put on for you?" I gave a faint smile and pulled my hand away. "The show was great. I loved it. But this wedding doesn't seem necessary anymore." "What did you say?" "I was just joking around with you. And now you want to cancel the wedding?" Aurora pointed at Caleb. "We're just childhood friends, that's all. We hang out a lot, sure, but I've always kept my boundaries. Don't be ridiculous." She'd been like this since the day I started pursuing her. Back then, she'd keep me on a string while never rejecting other guys, basking in the feeling of being the center of attention. Whenever I thought about giving up, she'd suddenly appear by my side, take my hand, and murmur, "Oh, Daniel, I'd die without you. You can't leave me. You have to keep chasing me." Every time she did that, I'd cave, because I was madly in love with her and also grateful to her. After my parents passed away, the Sterling family business feud started, and I was treated so badly by my own relatives, I nearly lost my mind. I ended up with severe depression and had tried to kill myself multiple times. It was Aurora who, regardless of anything, dragged me out to have fun, to go wild. She never lectured me about staying alive. She just showed me through her actions what joy there was in living. I pulled through, and I fell for her hard. But she kept stringing me along, and it was genuinely painful. Later, she'd say things like, "Even in those epic hero stories, they have to go through a million trials to get to the treasure. Isn't it romantic to face more tests to find true love?" It was like I was brainwashed. living in a cycle of pursuing her and being miserable. Finally, at our college graduation party, Aurora, in front of everyone, confessed her feelings for me. Aurora stood on stage that day, got down on one knee, and smiled brilliantly at me. 3 years of high school, 4 years of college. You've walked 99 steps towards me, Daniel. Let me take this last step. Let's be together. That day, I finally got the love I wanted. In the passion of that night, I discovered that Aurora, who seemed wild, even a bit promiscuous, was actually untouched. She even cried when I accidentally hurt her. As a guy who's admittedly a bit old school, I actually cared a lot about that. So I loved Aurora even more. But after we got together, Aurora still wouldn't definitively turn down her admirers. The difference was, just when they thought they were about to succeed, she would grandly pull me out and announce that I was her man. I didn't know why she did that, and it confused me. She was someone who never seemed to suffer from internal conflict, but her external drama was exhausting for me. Moreover, Aurora would demand that I keep my distance from female friends, and even some male friends. I did it, she didn't. So I was already tired, but love had become an addiction I couldn't kick. And now, at our wedding, something I considered sacred, she was still pulling these stunts. This was something I couldn't tolerate, especially as I replayed the past in my head. The more I remembered, the more I felt like I didn't love Aurora anymore. Daniel, why aren't you saying anything? You're not really going to cancel the wedding, are you? Aurora shook my arm, almost cooing. I was pulled out of my thoughts. I nodded. Yes, Aurora, the wedding is canceled, and let's break up too. I'm actually glad we didn't go get the marriage license first. Speaking of which, I should thank you for that. If you hadn't bailed on getting the license to go hang out with Caleb, I'd be filing for divorce right now. My words plunged Aurora into a dead silence. She stared at me, looking very much like a villain in a movie about to go on a killing spree. She'd looked like this many times during our arguments, which made me wonder if she had some kind of mental health issue. I ignored her and looked out at the guests. Today's fiasco was due to my poor planning. I'll apologize to everyone personally later. Hearing me say this, the guests couldn't really say much more. This was already an embarrassing situation for both families. If it escalated into a bigger fight, it would truly become a public disgrace. After all, both the Sterling family and Aurora's Dane family cared about their reputations. Just then, Caleb Knight suddenly walked up to me. He glared at me, his eyes bloodshot, and seethed. Aurora has already humbled herself, and you're still giving her a hard time? Are you even a man? I looked at him, puzzled. Caleb, you obviously like Aurora, so if Aurora and I break up, isn't that exactly what you want? What you should be doing now is taking the woman you like and leaving, not harassing me. Hearing this, Caleb stood there stunned, as if he thought what I said made sense. But then Caleb's eyes widened again. I will take Aurora away, but you embarrassed her, so I won't let you off the hook. Oh please, give me a break. The video of you two dirty dancing at her bachelorette party, she played it herself. And you crashing the wedding? She didn't exactly turn you down flat. Frankly, she's the one who made today's scene so awkward, I said patiently. So Caleb, let me give you some advice. Don't cause trouble here. Go do whatever it is you need to do. Truthfully, I was still in a lot of pain. Even though the love felt like it had vanished, I had been addicted to Aurora. Cutting it off now was like going through withdrawal. And then there was Caleb, this less than heroic character, jumping around in front of me. If I weren't so well-mannered, if I were some arrogant rich kid, he'd probably be crippled by now. Are you telling me what to do? Caleb, as if he couldn't hear a word I said, threw a punch at me. I sighed, shifted my feet slightly, and easily dodged his attack. At the same time, I grabbed his tie, and he stumbled to his knees, wincing from the pain in his kneecaps. I started learning kickboxing in high school, and I've kept it up ever since. I suggest you don't make a scene. My voice was flat as I looked at the Sterling family security guards. If you please, escort Mr. Knight out. The guards moved forward, but Aurora suddenly spoke up. Stop. Don't touch Caleb. Still protecting him? I frowned. To say it didn't hurt would be a lie. The two guards stopped. They had been with me, protecting me, since high school. Over the years, they had come to see Aurora as the future Mrs. Sterling. They looked at me, their eyes questioning. I sighed, shook my head, and told them to stand down for now. Caleb immediately perked up. Aurora, I knew you'd help me. Then he said to me provocatively, Daniel Sterling, so what if you chased Aurora for 7 years? So what if you're rich and powerful? Let me tell you, none of that compares to the bond Aurora and I have from growing up together. Respect, understanding, support. I nodded, not wanting to engage in such a pointless argument. That's how love should be. If I had to argue to prove I was more important than her childhood friend, then I'd already lost. Daniel Sterling, you apologize to Aurora right now. Get on your knees and bow your head to her. You can only get up when Aurora forgives you. Are you out of your mind? I've already made it clear the wedding is canceled, and I've initiated a breakup. Why aren't you focusing your energy on pursuing Aurora instead of attacking me? I asked, genuinely confused. Caleb was speechless for a moment, thought for a while, and then said, Of course I'll pursue Aurora, but you embarrassed her, so you have to apologize. I have to make you apologize to Aurora. This is proof of my love for her. Caleb, the Sterling family never throws its weight around, but that doesn't mean we can be targeted and harassed. I'm maintaining my composure, but that's not an excuse for you to push your luck. Now take Aurora and leave. Save yourself some dignity. I sighed again, making a final attempt to reason with him. But Caleb seemed to take it as an even greater loss of face and lunged at me again. This time, however, before I could even react, Aurora slapped him hard across the face. Aurora's slap sent Caleb staggering backward. Then she kicked him sharply in the back of his knee, sending him to his knees again. Caleb, Finn. He started to speak, then instantly clamped up because Aurora had taken off her decorative hairpin and was pressing its sharp point to Caleb's throat. Aurora looked at me, a morbid smile playing on her lips, yet her expression was strangely shy, her tone pleading. Daniel, honey, I really know I was wrong. I promise I won't play around with anyone else anymore. To prove my sincerity, should I just kill him right now? She was genuinely insane. That's what I thought, and that's what everyone else in the room was thinking. And I only just realized something. Every time Aurora and I had a heated argument, she seemed to fill with a destructive urge. Wedding's canceled. We're not breaking up yet. Just let him go first. If someone died at my wedding, it would be a massive blow to the Sterling family's reputation. Otherwise, a guy like Caleb Knight, his life or death was none of my business. Aurora beamed, a radiant smile on her face, and let Caleb go. Then, as if nothing had happened, she ran to me, jumped up, wrapped her beautiful legs around my waist, and threw her arms around my neck. Daniel, honey, it's so good you can forgive me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to go on living. As Aurora spoke, tears streamed down her face. Anyone watching could see she truly loved me. I could see it too, but I was also a little scared. First, get down first. We'll talk when we get home. I sighed. After seeing off the Sterling family and friends, Aurora's parents and her younger brother found me in a private lounge at the hotel. Aurora, meanwhile, was already removing her makeup. She even said she wanted to go home first to cook for me. I sat in a chair, exhaustedly rubbing my temples. Looking back on all these years with Aurora, it seemed like I was tired every single day. Loving her was like contracting a serious illness, leaving me utterly drained. Aurora's father sat beside me and sighed. Daniel, we spoiled Aurora rotten, but one thing she's not lying about is that she would never betray you, and she loves you very much. Aurora's mother took my hand. Daniel, after all these years, I've always thought of you as my own son, so please, I'm begging you, forgive Aurora this once. That wasn't a lot. Although the Dane family initially saw me as a meal ticket, a good catch, but after getting to know them, I could see that Aurora's parents were decent people with good values, especially her mother. Even before I'd officially won Aurora over, she was already on my side. A few times when I was sick, even Aurora was out having fun, but it was her mother who came to check on me. My parents died young, so in a way, they filled a void, offering me some of the parental love I'd missed. Leo Dane, Aurora's younger brother, also chimed in. Daniel, my parents always doted on my sister more, so they spoiled her no end, but she really loves you. At home, any place where you can put a photo, it's your photo. When we chat, your name comes up every other sentence. And while she went a bit too far this time, it's not unforgivable. I looked at them and finally nodded. I'll go back and have a good talk with Aurora. After all these years, Aurora and I were more than just us two. Our families were inextricably linked. If Aurora could truly get her temper under control, I was willing to give her another chance. Back at the townhouse, as soon as I walked in, the aroma of cooking filled the air. Just from the smell, I knew it was my favorite dish. It reminded me of how Aurora learned to cook for me. She hated the smell of cooking oil, but to make sure I could eat her food every day, she threw herself into the kitchen. She really had sacrificed a lot for me. Maybe I shouldn't have been so harsh at the wedding. I walked into the kitchen and saw Aurora stir-frying, but my smile froze on my face because next to Aurora, Caleb Knight was squatting there, peeling garlic. Daniel, Honey, you're back. Aurora expertly wiped her hands on her apron and moved to hug me. I stepped back, avoiding her, and sneered. Aurora, just when I thought I should give you a chance, you pull another stunt like this. You're really something. What's wrong now? Aurora asked, looking completely baffled. I frowned, pointing at Caleb. Him. Why is he in my house? Oh, Daniel, Caleb's just a childhood friend. Don't overthink it. Aurora said it as if the wedding fiasco hadn't happened, using her usual lines to brush me off, as if she'd lost all memory of that day. Caleb even smirked at me. Daniel Sterling, don't be so petty. Aurora and I grew up together. If we wanted something to happen, do you think you'd even have had a chance? Had they both lost their minds? I felt like I was going insane. I laughed, a bitter, angry sound, and pointed at the door. All right, you two can get out. I don't want to see either of you again. Daniel Sterling, you're being a bit shameless, aren't you? Aurora's willing to give you a chance. She's giving you an out. Just take it. Why are you making such a big deal out of everything? Caleb stood up and pointed at me. You just calm down, or don't blame me for snatching Aurora away. Please, I'm begging you. Take her and go. I was already beyond fed up. Aurora stared at me, dumbfounded. Daniel, what do you mean by that? You don't want me anymore. Yes, Aurora, I don't want you anymore. Let's break up. I took a deep breath. From now on, don't ever appear in front of me again. With that, I walked towards the living room. Aurora followed me. Daniel, you really don't want me anymore? Yes. I yelled at her. I was actually going to forgive you, but then you brought Caleb Knight back here. What do you take me for, Daniel Sterling? Some kind of pushover? I don't have that kink. Get out. Just looking at you makes me sick right now. In the past, no matter how heated our arguments got, I would always control my emotions and my voice, but this time I couldn't hold back. Aurora looked at me as if she didn't recognize me. She shook her head, started crying, and then said, Fine, Daniel Sterling, don't you regret this? I'm leaving right now. I used to love to play around, but I never betrayed you. But since you're treating me like this now, then I'm going to go get a room with Caleb. My heart ached. Even though I had decided to break up with Aurora, her words still made me feel a sharp stab of betrayal. The feeling made my breathing heavy, but I ignored her. After watching her leave, I immediately told my security guard, notify building management to delete her access FOB, remove her fingerprint and facial recognition from the system, and change the locks. Aurora, who had reached the door, suddenly stopped and turned back, staring at me intently. Daniel Sterling, you're forcing me to do this. Then she left, Caleb following behind her, gave me a provocative smirk and flipped me the bird. I ignored them, asked for a cup of tea, and tried to calm myself down. In reality, I didn't have much time to deal with my personal emotional drama. The company was too busy, a major government contract had just come through, and there were too many things that required my personal attention. Even for today's wedding, I had to clear it with my superiors. I worked late at the office until I finally went home. Instinctively, I looked around, worried that Aurora would suddenly jump out and scare me. In the past, no matter how late I came home, she would hide in some corner, startle me, then hug and kiss me, telling me how much she had missed me all day. I suddenly realized that Aurora wouldn't be doing that anymore. After a quick wash, I lay down on the bed to rest. I must have just fallen asleep when my phone started buzzing incessantly. I picked it up. It was Aurora sending messages on WhatsApp. She sent a photo, a table covered with bottles of alcohol, everything from unadulterated 90-proof vodka to aged whiskey, then some god-awful backward moonshine. Then she sent a voice message in her uniquely seductive tone. Daniel, honey, do you know, now that you don't want me, I can only feel you by my side when I'm drunk and in a daze. Then another picture. This picture was of Caleb Knight tied to a chair like a mummy, even his mouth gagged. Aurora's voice came again. Hey, don't worry, Daniel. I can only have one man in my life, and that's you. Other men in my eyes are just like cats or dogs. I'd never let them take advantage of me. Crazy. I tried to think of song lyrics that could accurately describe Aurora, because crazy wasn't precise enough, but I couldn't think of any words to describe her behavior. I remained silent for a moment, didn't reply, and then blocked Aurora. Even though it would be painful, I hoped she'd just end up with Caleb. Then she wouldn't bother me, and I could get over her faster. Lost in these thoughts, I fell asleep. But as I slept, I felt a chill on my body. It was Aurora's temperature. Her body was always cool. Was I dreaming about her? After so many years of addictive love, dreaming about her was normal, right? In this dream, it seemed to be getting a little X-rated. I snapped my eyes open and saw Aurora sitting on top of me. She was wearing my favorite black silk nightgown, her long hair disheveled and cascading around her, framing her exquisite face. Daniel, honey, I came back for you. You must have missed me too, right? Aurora leaned down, kissing me like a starving person. I pushed her away, pulled myself free, and glared at her. Aurora, we're over. Stop this nonsense. She collapsed onto the bed, brushed her long hair back, and stared at me with a smile, but her tone was manic. No, Daniel, if you don't want me, I'll die. She moved like some creature crawling out of the shadows, scrambling towards me with incredible speed. Then, before I could react, she hugged me and kissed me. She used too much force. Our mouths collided. I could feel my teeth cutting into the soft flesh of my lips, drawing blood, but she remained ferocious, even biting down hard on my lip. This made it impossible for me to push her away, because if I pushed too hard, I could feel my lip about to tear. She got what she wanted, unleashing all her emotions on me. Only then did she release my lips, collapsing limply in my arms, murmuring, Daniel, honey, we can never be apart. I motionlessly pushed her off the bed, my expression indifferent. Aurora, I'm saying this one last time. We're over. I don't love you anymore. How could that be, Daniel, honey? Stop scaring me. How could you not love me? You're my whole life. If you don't love me, why should I even live? Aurora suddenly grabbed her purse, pulled out a sharp knife, and held it to her own throat, laughing maniacally. Daniel, if I die for you, you'll definitely remember me for a lifetime, right? Her expression was manic, her tone even more so, like a true lunatic. I knew she was capable of actually killing herself. Put it down, I sighed. Aurora, I'll give you one last chance. Cut off all inappropriate relationships. Can you do that? I had no choice. The government project couldn't be delayed. If this were just the Sterling family's private business, I'd rather lose money and tarnish our image to completely cut ties with Aurora. But this was a national project, and this project probably needed a project leader with a squeaky clean public image. So I had to placate Aurora for now. Don't worry, Daniel, honey, Caleb Knight definitely won't be an eyesore for you anymore. Aurora dropped the knife, quickly climbed back onto the bed, snuggled into my arms, and looked up at me shyly. Daniel, honey, that wasn't enough earlier. You know what I've been busy with lately? I need to be at my absolute sharpest for work. I was truly exhausted, mentally and physically. Aurora's eyes turned manic again. So, Daniel, what you just said was just to calm me down. You still want to get rid of me, don't you? I don't. Then let's come on. I had no choice. I knew if I didn't agree, she'd definitely try to kill herself again. The next day, when I was heading to the office, my driver said my eyes looked sunken and advised me to take it easy. I couldn't be bothered to chew him out. As my driver and bodyguard, I really wanted to ask him how Aurora got in last night. The driver seemed to sense my unspoken question and volunteered. Ma'am, she had a bottle of gasoline. If I didn't open the door for her, she was going to set herself on fire. Sir, please believe my judgment. From the look in her eyes, I swear she meant it. Understood. Aside, the driver added, Sir, I suggest taking ma'am to see a psychiatrist. Do you honestly think she wouldn't try to kill any psychiatrist who tried to treat her? I asked casually, surprised at myself for even thinking Aurora would resort to murder so easily. The driver fell silent, but his worry was palpable. At the office, I dove into my work. After being tormented by Aurora until dawn, I was mentally drained, and my whole body ached. It was a good thing I was in good shape. If I were weaker, I probably would have died in bed. I called my assistant, Liam Thorne. I took a sip of the strong tea he brought to wake myself up, then patted his shoulder. You've got good hands. Give me a shoulder rub. Daniel, man, you don't look so good. Didn't get enough rest? Liam asked while kneading my shoulders. He was my junior from college, always my shadow back then. We were like brothers. I didn't want to relive last night, so I changed the subject. Your wife's due soon, right? I'm planning on giving you paternity leave. Go home and be with her. I don't need leave. My parents and her parents are all here. They don't need me to worry about things, Liam said. Just then, the office door was pushed open. Aurora walked in wearing a black dress, her long, wavy hair perfectly styled. My face was pale, but hers was rosy, glowing with health. Daniel, honey, I brought you lunch, Aurora said, then suddenly stopped. Her expression darkened as she stared at Liam and me. Suddenly her voice turned gloomy. Little Liam Thorne, how can you touch my man? Aurora, Daniel's tired. I'm just giving him a shoulder rub. Liam thought Aurora was joking, so he didn't take it seriously. Aurora suddenly smiled. All right, now that I'm here, I don't need you anymore. Go get some lunch. Okay then, Daniel, I'll head out first. Liam left. Aurora came over, took out the lunch she had prepared, and set it in front of me. She massaged my shoulders while saying, Daniel, honey, if you need someone to rub your shoulders, I'll come to the office with you tomorrow. I'll put some cooking utensils in your break room and cook for you too. Don't go to so much trouble. Besides, your hands aren't as strong as Liam's. His massages are more comfortable, I said casually while eating. So Liam is better than me? Aurora's tone was off. I paused, then glared at her. My orientation is straight. Can you get your brain straight too? She could get jealous over this. I don't care. No one can touch you but me. Aurora huffed, as if pouting. After I finished eating, I picked up the tea Aurora had brought. A quick glance and the hairs on my neck stood up because I recognized the herbs in it. Horny goat weed, maca root, deer antler, ginseng, goji berries, mulberry, astragalus. A veritable witch's brew of aphrodisiacs. This stuff was potent. If I drank this, how worked up would I get? Drink up, Daniel, honey, otherwise I'm not leaving, Aurora urged. I sighed and downed it in one gulp. With her here, it was indeed difficult for me to work properly. She had a track record. Many times before, she'd said she wanted to accompany me at work, only for it to turn into an office tryst. Aurora left, and I breathed a sigh of relief. Perhaps because she was so unhinged, being in the same space as her put me under immense pressure, and I was a bit scared of her now. I just wanted to finish this project quickly and then get rid of her completely. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Liam suddenly burst into my office, his face pale and angry. What's wrong? I looked up and asked. Liam closed the door, his face crestfallen. Daniel, man, is Aurora okay mentally? She went to my house, warned my wife to make me stay away from you, told her to control her own man, just because I gave you a shoulder rub. Aurora's jealous? Is she serious? Back in college, when we played basketball and you twisted your ankle, I rubbed your foot and put medicine on it for you. Is your wife okay? She's so far along in her pregnancy. We can't have anything happen to her, I asked hurriedly. My heart was heavy with worry and fear. Had Aurora truly lost it? Although she had always been very possessive of me, she usually warned people off jokingly, not like today, threatening Liam's wife. She's okay, but she was pretty shaken up, Liam said. I thought for a moment, how about this? You take leave starting now, until this project is over. Daniel, man, is Aurora going to be all right? Liam nodded and asked. I sighed, then suddenly remembered something. That time Liam mentioned, when I twisted my ankle playing basketball, he helped me apply medicine and rub my foot. Aurora was there at the time, also joking that she was jealous and immediately snatched my smelly foot away. Back then, we weren't officially together yet, so I actually felt quite happy about it. But it seemed like just a few days later, Liam got beaten up by some thugs when he was pulling an all-nighter at an internet cafe with his roommate. Could Aurora have hired those guys? I hadn't suspected it at the time, but after the events of the past 2 days, I felt it was definitely related to Aurora. But I didn't mention it. I didn't want to worry Liam. I just sent him home. Around 9 o'clock in the evening, I finished my work and planned to go home. As I walked out of the building, the car was already parked at the entrance. The driver gave me a knowing look. I glanced into the car and saw Aurora sitting in the back seat. I wanted to sit in the front passenger seat, not with Aurora, but I knew if I sat in the front, Aurora would definitely lose it. I got into the car, and she immediately threw herself into my arms. Then, like a little dog, she sniffed my neck, my collar, my shoulders. She even used her phone's flashlight to check my clothes for any stray long hairs. Give me your phone. Aurora held out her hand. I suddenly felt suffocated, furious. Daniel, honey, why are you afraid to give me your phone? Do you have some secret you're afraid I'll see? Aurora asked, her face grim. I sighed and handed over my phone. Here's your reward. Aurora kissed me, then unlocked the phone. I had forgotten to change the password. It was still her birthday. She was very happy. Then she started checking my WhatsApp, call history, and messages, even my Notes app. And as she looked, her expression changed. She held the phone in front of me, pointing to a chat window. Who is this Maya? Why is she calling you bro and asking you to buy her a bag? My heart ached. I suppressed an indescribable feeling of suffocation and said, Maya Sterling? My third uncle's daughter, my cousin. She's currently studying abroad. You've met her. She has parents. Why is she asking you to buy it? Aurora pressed. I was going crazy. Aurora, you being jealous of Liam was ridiculous enough. Now you're suspecting my own cousin? Back when everyone in the Sterling family was trying to screw me over, Only my third uncle's family protected me. They even lost their son protecting me. Of course I'm going to be good to Maya. What's wrong with that? You're yelling at me because of another woman. Tears instantly streamed down Aurora's face. Could someone please just kill me? I wailed internally. If this project weren't so critical to the country, I'd even consider just walking away from it all. Aurora, if you continue to be like this, I might not be able to stay with you. You're making me very tired, I said, trying to be patient. I was wrong. Aurora suddenly threw herself into my arms, handed me back my phone, and said, Daniel, honey, I'll change. I promise I won't be like this anymore. Don't be mad at me. I'm scared that if you get angry, you won't want me anymore. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Back home, I ate the late-night snack she had prepared, drank her potent herbal tea, and then went to take a shower. Halfway through, Aurora came in. We couldn't get out of the bathroom for an hour. Back in the bedroom, she clung to me like a snake, refusing to let go. Another night of unrestrained passion. When I went to the office the next day, I felt like my life force had been completely drained, like I could drop dead at any moment. At lunchtime, Aurora surprisingly didn't come to deliver lunch. I felt very relaxed, went to the cafeteria, and ate with the employees. But before I could finish my meal, the driver came rushing in. What's so urgent? I asked, surprised. I just went home to walk the dog, saw that ma'am wasn't there, so I asked Mrs. Peterson. Then Mrs. Peterson said she heard ma'am on the phone booking a flight, saying she was going to England. And last night, ma'am was suspicious of Mr. Sterling's third brother's daughter, Miss Maya, right? I'm worried. The driver didn't finish because he thought no one could possibly be that crazy. My vision went black, and I almost fainted. Aurora wouldn't actually go find my cousin, would she? I quickly called her. Maya, if Aurora Dane contacts you, don't meet her under any circumstances, and you should also move to a different place for a while. Bro, what's wrong? My cousin sounded surprised. I thought for a moment, then said, Aurora's been a bit mentally unstable lately. I'm worried she might hurt you. Anyway, you have to listen to me, understand? Bro, I'll go stay with my best friend, and I promise I won't post anything on social media, won't give her any clues, my cousin promised. Only then did I feel relieved because the Sterling family had gone through internal feuds. My cousin was also very cautious and never took chances. I called Aurora again. Her phone was off. Flying from Chicago to London takes over 9 hours. She was probably on the plane by now. That lunatic. I slammed my hand on the table. 3 days passed. During these 3 days, I frequently contacted my cousin, but I didn't dare use my own phone. I had the driver make the calls. I didn't want Aurora checking my call records again when she got back and causing more drama. Once I confirmed my cousin was safe, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Aurora returned on the evening of the third day. When she got home, she looked exhausted and extremely anxious. I was eating dinner in the dining room. Seeing her like this, I felt a genuine chill. Even though I could probably overpower her easily, she truly managed to instill fear in me because I knew she was the type who could throw her life away at any moment. Daniel, honey, why is your cousin avoiding me? Is she hiding from me because she has a guilty conscience? Tell me the truth. Daniel, is there something going on between you two? Aurora rushed up to me, her face pleading. Aurora, don't be so absurd. Maya is my cousin. What on earth are you thinking? I yelled. And you promised me you wouldn't be like this anymore. But you turned right around and went after my cousin. What are you trying to do? You didn't find her. If you found her, what did you plan to do? What did I plan to do? Daniel, honey, how can you ask me that? I love you too much, so I won't allow anyone to get close to you, no one. Especially now, you've said more than once that you don't want me. Anyone who gets close to you is an enemy in my eyes. Aurora was crying and laughing at the same time, sitting on my lap, caressing my face. Oh, Daniel, you'll never know how much I love you, so you can't do anything to betray me, okay? Her words, her tone, her expression, they sent shivers down my spine because I felt her subtext might be, if you betray me, I'll kill you. I won't betray you, but please know your limits, I said sternly, or you might as well just drive me to my death. How could I bear for you to die alone? If you really don't want to live anymore, I can go with you. As long as I'm by your side, it doesn't matter if I'm alive or dead, Aurora said, her face full of adoration. That night, I was put through the ringer again. Just like that, I was tormented for nearly half a month. Finally, the project was completed. I had lost a lot of weight, but my mood was suddenly much brighter. With this project finished, I needed to go make a report, and there would be nearly a week of meetings. During this week, I would be in a place undisturbed by the outside world, meaning Aurora couldn't come and bother me anymore. I could bring one assistant. I chose Chloe Davis, who was exceptionally competent. But when it was time to leave, she was nowhere to be found. After waiting for who knows how long, Aurora, dressed in a black business suit, walked towards me. My eyes widened. I strode over and said in a low voice, "What did you do to Chloe Davis?" "Nothing really. I just told her that if she didn't stay away from you, I'd kill her daughter. So she went home," Aurora said with a smile. "Lunatic." I almost screamed it out loud, but in the end, I could only endure. The meetings and reports lasted for a week. That week, I felt like I was living in hell because Aurora by my side was like a pathogen, constantly corrupting me. Even in my dreams, I saw her killing Liam Thorne's family, then Chloe Davis's family, and finally my third uncle's entire family. Back home, it was time for a showdown. I sat on the sofa, looking deeply at Aurora, who sat opposite me. "Let's talk. Daniel honey, what do you want to eat today?" I said, "Let's talk." "Daniel honey, how about we have barbecue tonight? Remember in high school, you didn't have much money then. You were so skinny. I used to always take you out for barbecue." "Aurora Dane," I suddenly roared. I said, "We need to talk. Stop avoiding it." "Daniel honey, you don't want to talk? You want to force me to die?" Aurora suddenly shook her head, crying. "I know you're going to bring up breaking up again. I also know you've just been placating me all this time. You've been waiting for the project to end so you can break up with me. I know all of this." She suddenly walked over to me, knelt down, and hugged my legs. "Daniel honey, can you really not forgive me? I never betrayed you. Even when I hung out with Caleb, I was just trying to make you jealous, to make you pay more attention to me. On the wedding day, I deliberately caused the scene because I wanted to know how deep your love for me was. The more you tolerate, the deeper the love, right?" Her words seemed to lack any normal logic. I truly felt she was sick. I took a deep breath. "I really did give you chances, but then you brought Caleb Knight home again that day. This isn't about betrayal anymore. It's about you knowing I don't like it, yet you insist on doing it. That's you not respecting me at all. And you're getting more and more outrageous. Liam, Maya, Chloe, you get jealous of all of them. Not only jealous, but you also go around threatening people. That's illegal, you know." After I finished speaking, Aurora cried even harder. "I know it's wrong, but I can't control myself, Daniel. Like when Liam put medicine on your foot in college. Do you know how I felt then? I was in so much pain I wanted to die. I hated him so much, so I had someone beat him up. Later he became your assistant, and I wanted to kill him. So it really was her back then. What happened to Lily Chun who suddenly dropped out of school in senior year?" I suddenly asked. That girl, Lily Chun, had a very innocent, first love kind of face. Back in school, everyone knew I was chasing Aurora, and Lily was chasing me. But then one day Lily just dropped out. Her dad had a stroke and urgently needed money. I gave her $50,000, and she dropped out to take care of him. But she went back to school later, Aurora said truthfully. I took a deep breath. "Then what about Eva Rossi from your college dorm?" In college, Aurora and I weren't officially together yet, and Eva Rossi had a crush on me, always asking Aurora to set us up. Then one day, she just vanished. Eva Rossi had a lot of boyfriends, just a gold digger. I introduced her to a rich old man, and she became his kept woman, Aurora said honestly. "Just how many people did you get rid of?" I felt increasingly terrified. "Many. I can't even remember them all. But Daniel honey, back then my illness was milder. I made sure they all had a way out." Aurora smiled sadly, as if she were the victim. "But many of them didn't have to end up like that. If you had just agreed to be with me back then, other people wouldn't have pursued me." I asked the question I'd always wanted to ask. Why didn't you accept me back then? Did you not like me? Or did you just enjoy being the center of attention? Aurora shook her head and pointed to her own head. "It's because I have a hereditary mental illness. I didn't want to burden you, but I couldn't control loving you. Later, I couldn't control anymore, so I confessed to you. This." Those words suddenly filled me with pity. But just at that moment, the driver opened the door. A group of police officers entered swiftly. One of them, a female officer, said to Aurora, "Ms. Aurora Dane, Mr. Caleb Buckley has been found deceased in a property registered under your name. We need to take you in for questioning. We hope for your cooperation." "What? Caleb Knight was dead?" I looked at Aurora in disbelief. She just smiled at me and whispered in my ear, "See, Daniel honey, I didn't lie to you, did I? Caleb Knight won't be an eyesore for you anymore." At that moment, I felt my blood run cold. I pitied her illness, but I also feared her madness. And this time, with her being taken away, it was probably goodbye for good. Was this a release for me? For her? I watched her being led away, but but I couldn't feel relieved. The pain in my heart only intensified. For half a month, I didn't leave the house. I would drink when I was awake, and in my intoxicated haze, I would reminisce about every little moment with Aurora. For so many years, even before she accepted me, she had taken care of me meticulously. It seemed that apart from her insane possessiveness, everything she did for me was good. And yet, I had loathed her intensely. Was that fair to her, a sick person? Even after she was taken away for half a month, I hadn't gone to see her once. But I would also selfishly think, what if Aurora is fine? What if she comes back? What would I do then? Could I spend the rest of my life with this Aurora? If I refused to spend the rest of my life with her, would she kill me or herself? Or worse, would she go completely insane and kill everyone I cared about? Perhaps her not coming back was the best solution. I walked out of the house, sat on the porch, smoking a cigarette. The sunlight was a bit harsh. In the sunlight, there seemed to be a figure. She was wearing a simple white dress, her skin like jade, her face exquisitely beautiful, her smile radiant. "Daniel, honey, I'm back." Aurora bent down and smiled at me. I didn't know if I was happy or sad. I just figured I was drunk. Aurora sat beside me, leaned against me, and whispered, "That house? I rented it to Caleb Knight a long time ago, and I haven't been there in ages. So Caleb hanging himself has nothing to do with me. Why would he suddenly commit suicide, a guy like that? How could he possibly kill himself?" Aurora continued, "Everyone has something they cherish, Daniel. What I cherish is you. And what Caleb cherished was his sister, the sister who raised him, the person he would protect even at the cost of his own life." She hugged my arm tightly, brought her face close to my ear, and said, "Besides, Caleb knew I was sick. He knew I was capable of killing." I just gave a foolish smile, not replying. "So be it. Live one day at a time," Aurora added. "Daniel, honey, if you really can't take me anymore, please make sure it's arranged properly. Kill me without leaving a trace. Otherwise, I won't be able to stop myself from killing everyone you care about."